Okay, for this lesson, we are going to learn how to make a Google form into a twist-a-plot or a fractured fairy tale or something where you get to choose a story and then you get to give your reader multiple endings to take them to the final ending that you have put in order for them. So the first thing that I want to do with my form is I would like to uncheck the Require Milpitas Christian Schools, click OK. The next thing that I want to do is I need to give it a title for my form. So this would be the name of your story. The question title is where you actually put your story section, your chunk of story. In the form description, I would like to see a summary of the original story. Just in case some people aren't familiar with it. It shouldn't be too long. It should be short. But it should give us enough information so that we know what we're doing. So right here in the first question title, the untitled question, that is where we would put that first chunk of information. So I'm just using my very small information that I have here for you just so you can see what's going on. So here's it's not a question title anymore, it's a part of my story. I'm going to leave it at multiple choice. I'm going to click go to page based on answer. And option 1 is the first choice that I want to give them. So the first one is either this one. And I have a little bit of trouble when I stick my options in. If it's too long, it puts it into the second part. And I don't really want it in the second part, so I would have to go back in, and I think it's just a Mac issue, and add the next part that went into my second box. So then I go back to my doc. I take my second choice. You guys would actually write more than what I'm putting here. I'm just showing you a quick section. Now this would be where I would start putting go to or continue to whatever page. I have no page breaks, so I'm going to show you how to do that next. Click required question and done. Now I need to add a whole bunch of pages. So I'm going to click on the drop-down menu and choose page break. It lets me put a page title for each one, but I don't really want a page title because I don't want to guide my reader that much. So I leave both the page title and the description blank and I click done. So now I have a page 2 of 2. On page 2 of 2, I'm going to add my multiple choice question. I'm going to put in the next chunk of my story. Then I'm going to give my next options. Option 1, and I write out more detail, write in detail, okay? It will take a lot of content. Also write your next question in detail. Don't forget to go to page based on answer. So on this one, when I go back to edit, I can say continue to page 2. This one I would want to continue to page 3. Try not to have them go to the same page or go backwards to a page that you have already put an answer on. It messes up your story when that happens. So on this one, I would add another page break. It's probably better if you add all your page breaks first, and then that way you know where your story goes. And then the next thing I would do is I would put in your original storyline and then keep going back. Make sure each one is a required question. And now I want to quickly show you how to insert an image. So I'm on this question. You can pretend to put it in here. It won't go. The picture will go probably right underneath. Let's see if I can add an image this way, or I can add an image, insert image. Sometimes your image will go into help text. Most of the times it just goes underneath. So I would choose my image that I'm putting in to go with my story. Let's see. I'll just randomly choose this one. That one's not bad. Has nothing to do with my story. So it goes in. I can center it. I can click done. And so now it would have my picture below. I can move it to above if I wanted to. Or below. Depending on how you want your story to read. Do you want your pictures above the question or do you want your pictures below the question? And so when you get to the final pages with your endings on them, what you're going to want to do is this one will actually submit. So let's pretend I had a second end. Page break. I'm going to put the end so you know it's an ending. Click done. I'm going to put another one in, another page break, the end. If you notice, I'm not putting any questions on it because in the description, I'm going to write out the ending of my story. So I would write a whole bunch of detail to wrap up my story. Okay? And now it gives me the option. This one is after page 3. This one is after page 4. I don't want to continue to my next ending because that would really mess my story up. So I click submit. And then page 5 is an automatic submit. If you ended up on page 5, that one would submit. Page 4, I now have it submitting. After page 3, if I don't put a go to question or go to page, it would continue to the next page. So you have to be aware of this go to the next page and also the one inside your story where it says continue to page 4, continue to page 5. You want to make sure each one of these does not say continue to the next page, but actually says the page that it is going to. And that is the basics of how to create a twist-a-plot or a fractured story.